I think we all can't wait to see Galactus finally make his MCU debut this year. His arrival is a huge deal, and not just because MCU finally brought it, because it suggests Marvel Studios is about to merge over 3 decades of comic book history with Avengers Secret Wars. Galactus isn't just another big bad in Marvel Comics, he's one of the most powerful cosmic beings out there, and he's been a longtime nemesis of the Fantastic Four. But unlike your typical villain, Galactus isn't evil for the sake of it. His whole existence revolves around consuming worlds to sustain himself, making him more of an unstoppable force of nature rather than someone with malicious intent. His introduction in the Fantastic Four First Steps in 2025 could be one of the most significant moments in the MCU so far. If he's showing up in the Fantastic Four's universe, that likely means their world is in serious trouble. And given how massive his presence is in the comics, it would be a shame if his role in the MCU was limited to just one movie. That's why I believe his arrival is a major clue about where Secret Wars is headed. For a while, it seemed like Avengers Secret Wars would be based on the 2015 comic run of the same name. There have been 2 major Secret Wars storylines in Marvel Comics history, but all signs pointed to the more recent version, written by Jonathan Hickman. One of the biggest hints? The concept of incursions, universe-ending events that have played a central role in the MCU's multiverse saga so far. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness introduced incursions, explaining that they happen when the boundaries between 2 universes break down, causing them to collide and potentially wipe each other out. Earth 838's Reed Richards summed it up in Doctor Strange 2. An incursion occurs when the boundary between 2 universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely. This lines up with what happens in the 2015 Secret Wars comics, where entire realities collapse due to incursions, leading to the creation of Battleworld, an amalgamation of different universes ruled by none other than Doctor Doom. With the Fantastic Four First Steps arriving just before the multiverse saga's grand finale, it looked like Marvel was setting up the key players from the 2015 Secret Wars. Star-Lord's confirmed return after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 also suggested that his role in the comic storyline could be carried over to the big screen. Plus, there have been rumors about the MCU undergoing a soft reboot, similar to how the 2015 Secret Wars reset the Marvel Comics universe. But now, with Galactus officially joining the mix, the certainty of that theory is up in the air. Furthermore, Galactus did appear in the 2015 Secret Wars, but his role was relatively minor compared to his involvement in the original 1984 Secret Wars comics. The premise of the original Secret Wars was quite different. There were no incursions or multiversal collapses. Instead, Battleworld was created by the Beyonder, a cosmic being who wanted to see Marvel's greatest heroes and villains battle it out in a massive showdown. The 1984 Secret War storyline was more of a straightforward, action-packed event than a universe-redefining saga. That being said, Galactus played a much bigger part in it than he did in the 2015 version. As usual, he wasn't interested in taking sides. His goal was simply to consume Battleworld, as he would with any other planet. This led to a major clash with Doctor Doom, who ultimately stole Galactus's godlike powers. Doom also becomes all-powerful in the 2015 Secret Wars, but he does so by absorbing the Beyonder's abilities instead. With Doctor Doom expected to play a major role in the multiverse saga's conclusion, Galactus's inclusion in the Fantastic Four First Steps suggests that Marvel may be leaning more toward the older Secret Wars storyline than the 2015 one. One of the main reasons I believe Galactus will have a bigger role in Avengers Secret Wars is that Marvel Studios needs to avoid a recurring problem, introducing a major character and then failing to give them the spotlight they deserve. We've seen this happen before. Harry Styles' Star Fox and Mahershala Ali's Blade were both teased in Eternals post-credit scenes, and years later, their futures in the MCU are still uncertain. Blade's situation in particular seems to be getting messier by the day. Now, I know Galactus won't just be a post-credits tease. He's confirmed to be the main antagonist in the Fantastic Four, but still, I'd hate to see him treated as a one-and-done villain. The MCU has a habit of bringing in powerful comic book characters and then limiting their impact. Ultron, Hela, and even Kang have all suffered from this issue. Despite their immense power in the comics, they were each dealt with in a single movie, making them feel much less imposing than they should be. Galactus deserves better. He's not just another world-ending villain, he's a force of nature, an entity that looms over the Marvel Universe in a way few others do. If Marvel Studios is serious about making Avengers Secret Wars their biggest event yet, then Galactus needs to play a major role. Whether they adapt the 2015 Secret Wars or the 1984 version, his presence should be more than just a stepping stone for another villain. I also think the way the MCU is shaping up makes a strong case for blending both Secret Wars storylines into Avengers Secret Wars. Given that incursions have been a major focus, it's pretty clear that the 2015 run will be the primary source of inspiration. But that doesn't mean Marvel can't borrow elements from the original 1984 story at the same time. Realistically, it's unlikely that the MCU will adapt Secret Wars twice, so merging the best aspects of both versions would be a great way to honor these legendary comics. Galactus' presence isn't the only reason to think this might happen when Avengers Secret Wars drops in 2027. One of the most iconic moments from the original Secret Wars was Spider-Man getting his black symbiote suit, and that imagery is practically synonymous with the 1984 storyline. Spider-Man No Way Home already teased the symbiote's arrival in the MCU with its post-credits scene, where a piece of Venom was left behind at a bar. That moment feels like a setup for something bigger. Regardless of which direction Marvel takes, it's clear that they'll be putting their own spin on Secret Wars. Two key figures from both versions, the Beyonder and Molecule Man, seem unlikely to appear, as there's been no indication of their presence in the MCU so far. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay in the loop with all the latest movie and series news, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up, because I'll be dropping more updates about which X-Men movie the MCU will kick off with soon, along with news about some of your other favorite series and movies. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.